nuances in London traffic where the culture breaks, tone colours burn from exhaustion, emphasised by wind. Looking ahead for sudden taillights, a vehicle changes lanes into your path and birds over the rail bridge seem purple. A mathematician at the turn of the century works out invariant notions in a garden, every so often climbs a bike, makes a figure of 8 around rose beds to help concentration, then returns to the blackboard. The schemers dreamed a finite language, where innocence became post-experiential, believing the measurable ultraviolet from a lamp, isolated sunlight curvature, made false language what can be done to separate from perception. In a dream, apparently without volition, a car burning and watch myself there, sealed in beneath a smog dome, uncertain what to try for next. Into the 90s, in the same book called Gravity as a Consequence of Shape, Mama's Strut. 10. Climate no longer an obstacle. In civilized societies, technicians are rich. A long story of robbery, wisdom taken from eloquence, wisdom without eloquence, without exception. Perfection and finish are unnatural. 3 lines on a panel, an exchange between 2 technicians. Competes sequestered derision, completes aesthetic decision. The burglar's postcard reads taxis, diathesis, economia. It is read as combining form into order with a comprehension of flavours. In the best place, understand subatomic and cosmic time-space. For the technician, this will provide strength, utility and grace. 24. The technician and burglar met at 11, or at least my sleep was taken, and I feel wiped out of the space-time that fits a margin just before and after I awoke. In a passage, as the French call it, following the history of sexuality, a silence in which the cupboard unfolds and the burglar, who drops the technician's ruler, leaves by the cat-flap door, clutching a jar of birds. 25. Technician turns the radio to drown screams from neighbours when the hungry come for food. 26. The burglar turns back and becomes critical, asks what thought can achieve, under what conditions. 27. Shapeless stains, light trembles. Tomorrow the technician will make the strap and the attempt to see the stars. And end with one poem from a new sequence called No Longer Alone, the first one. Just out of interest, it's a double sonnet. The erasure cycle is a function of our tipping point. You feel this in your chest and eyes. We are focused by a custom-built optical tweezer in the diffraction limit to this trap. Small populations plan to get off the planet before this. Their baggage remains on the runway. The tilt force averages over situations in which our memory is switched to 0. We are too late for dissipation and noise immunity. We are irreversible. Our physics of forgetting coexists with our absence of care. Aspiration to the intervention of intelligence has been cancelled. Stochastic energetics complement the resonance of collisions. Thank you for your space and time. You are no longer needed. Dissipative processes summarize connections between information and thermodynamics. Individuals and hooded neighbours are monitored by their speed, by opening and closing the door to a bi-chamber. A technician collects the faster or hot in one chamber, the slower or cold in the other. Determined by the stupidity of our decisions, there is no next time. We are all in this together. The erasure cycle is a function of our tipping point. We are no longer alone.